Errors on a credit report can have a major impact on financial opportunities, from securing loans to getting approved for credit cards. Disputing inaccurate collections and removing them quickly is more important than ever. This guide walks through a fast and effective method to dispute credit report errors, ensuring that fraudulent or incorrect accounts are removed without waiting months for a resolution. The first step is to visit Experian's website at usa.experian.com. Experian is preferred because it provides access to all three credit bureaus: Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. Many other services may not include all three. If you have an alternative method to retrieve your credit report, that's fine. The important part is ensuring the report shows all negative items from each credit bureau. Next, log into Experian or create an account if one doesn't already exist. To protect the individual's information, the login process has already been completed. Once logged in, select View Report and scroll to the bottom to locate collections or negative items. Only a few key details are needed from the report. First, confirm whether the information is from Experian, TransUnion, or Equifax, as collections may not always be reported to all three bureaus. For this report, the collection is with Experian. The next step is to record credit management's details. This can be done by writing them down, taking a screenshot, or saving them in a note app like Google Keep. Be sure to document the bureau name, Experian, the creditor's name, Midland Credit Management, the balance, and the highest recorded balance. If multiple balances are listed, always record the highest one. In this case, both balances are the same, but that may vary. Additionally, the account number and the date the account was opened must be noted. The process should be repeated for all three bureaus: Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. Sometimes, the same debt may be listed under different names across the bureaus. For this example, take the necessary time to collect information from Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. Ensure that each name, account number, highest balance, and open date is properly documented. Once this information is ready, the next step can be taken. Before proceeding, it's important to review a key legal reference from Cornell Law School, 15 U.S. Code 1681, which outlines congressional findings and the purpose of the Fair Credit Reporting Act. This law ensures the right to an accurate and fair credit report. The banking system relies on fair and accurate credit reporting, and errors can impact its efficiency. Unfair credit reporting methods reduce public confidence, which is essential for the banking system to function properly. If a third-party entity claims a debt without a direct contract, verification can be requested. If they cannot provide verification, the claim may be considered fraudulent. The next step involves visiting identitytheft.gov. Upon reaching the website, select Get Started and then I want to report identity theft. Several options will appear, including cases where someone has misused personal information, concerns about potential identity theft, data breaches, or other incidents. The appropriate selection in this case is I want to report identity theft. Among the various options available, select credit card accounts. Other options include fraudulent loans, unauthorized debit or checking accounts, employment or tax fraud, and utility fraud. For this situation, credit card accounts is the correct selection. Then, specify how the information was misused by selecting Opened a fraudulent credit card account before continuing. When asked which company or bank issued the credit card, refer back to the collected data. Ensure the correct bureau is being used for the dispute. In this example, Experian is used. All necessary details should be written down, including information for TransUnion and Equifax. Enter the name of the creditor and the relevant month and year. The current month and year should be used based on when this process is being completed. For this example, the account was opened in May 2022, so that date is entered. If the amount is known, it should be included. In this case, the amount is $1,144. Next, enter the account number, which can be copied directly from the report or retrieved from personal notes. Certain optional sections can be skipped, but an additional account can be added. Up to 5 accounts can be reported at a time. If more than 5 accounts exist with Experian, submit the first 5, then create a separate report for the remaining accounts. The same process should be followed separately for TransUnion and Equifax. For the second collection account, repeat the process. Copy the name and paste it into the report. Enter the month and year the issue was first noticed. Then, return to the report to find the date the account was opened, which in this example is July 2018. Enter July 2018 as the date. The balance, $525, is entered as well, ensuring the highest recorded balance is used. Finally, copy and paste the account number into the report. Up to 5 accounts can be reported at a time. If more than 5 need to be submitted, a new report must be created. Each credit bureau, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, requires a separate report. The next step involves entering personal details, starting with the first name and primary phone number. In this demonstration, a Google Voice number is used, but an actual phone number should be provided. Next, an email address is entered, followed by selecting the option indicating who is filing the complaint. In this case, it is being filed personally. The date of birth and address information should then be added. The example uses a placeholder address, but an accurate address should be provided. The duration of residence at that address is also required, and this can be filled in accordingly. If the name has not changed, select No. If military service applies, select either Yes or No before continuing to the next step. The following section asks whether anything is known about the person responsible for the identity theft. In this case, the response is No. Next, a review of the credit report is required. If a copy has been reviewed, select Yes. If fraudulent accounts were found, select Yes. There is also an option to indicate whether any personal information was incorrect. This provides an opportunity to request the removal of outdated addresses or other irrelevant information. If a name correction is needed, it can be specified here. This section can be left blank if no changes are necessary. However, a fraud alert can be requested from one of the 3 national credit bureaus. If no fraud alert has been requested yet, selecting No is fine. Fraud alerts require extra verification to confirm identity, but can be easily removed by contacting the credit bureaus. If an alert is not in place, there is no need to worry. Additional questions ask whether local law enforcement has been contacted, if personal information was exposed in a data breach, and if a debt collector has reached out regarding an unknown account. If none of these apply, select No for each. After completing these responses, proceed to the next step. The personal statement section requires a brief explanation. A simple statement can be submitted such as, I recently reviewed my credit report and found fraudulent accounts. Please remove these accounts as they are negatively impacting my ability to obtain credit. The statement should be clear and direct, stating that the accounts are unrecognized, unauthorized, and reported by a third party. After submitting the personal statement, a final preview of the complaint appears. The required box must be checked to confirm understanding before finalizing the submission. There is an option to submit without creating an account by selecting No Thanks and continuing. Once submitted, a report is generated, which can be downloaded. Saving the document ensures a copy is available for future reference. This process should be repeated for each bureau. Up to 5 accounts can be included per report. If there are more than 5 accounts, multiple reports should be submitted. Separate reports must be completed for Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. Once all reports are completed, the next step involves submitting a complaint through the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, CFPB. To begin, visit the CFPB website by searching for CFPB on Google or going to consumerfinance.gov. The CFPB was established to protect consumers from unfair treatment by banks, lenders, and other financial institutions. If there is a dispute with a credit bureau, a bank, or another financial institution, the CFPB is the organisation to contact. Typically, disputes involve sending letters and waiting 30 to 45 days for a response. However, instead of waiting, the complaint can be submitted directly to the CFPB with all necessary documentation. This accelerates the resolution process. To submit a complaint, navigate to the top of the CFPB website and select Submit a Complaint. Scroll down and start a new complaint. One important note: if the page is refreshed after starting a complaint, progress may be lost. If the page is refreshed during the complaint submission process, it will not go through. This has happened to many users, so if changes need to be made, it is best to restart the complaint rather than refreshing the page. Begin by starting a new complaint and creating an account. The email used should be one that is actively monitored, as it will be needed to receive updates. Once the account is set up, the complaint process consists of 5 steps. The correct category to select is Credit Reporting and Other Personal Consumer Reports. There are other options available, but this is the one relevant to credit disputes. Under the type of credit reporting product, select Credit Reporting and proceed to the next step. The complaint should indicate that the issue involves incorrect information on a credit report, specifically identity theft or information that belongs to someone else. When asked whether an attempt has been made to fix the problem with the company, the response should always be yes, to prevent being redirected back to the credit bureau. Similarly, indicate that a request was made for information, but the company did not provide it. For the description of what happened, the same personal statement from earlier can be copied and pasted. A simple and direct statement such as, "I recently reviewed a copy of my credit report and noticed fraudulent accounts. Please remove these accounts as they are negatively affecting my ability to obtain credit," should be sufficient. For the desired resolution, a straightforward request like, "Please remove all fraudulent accounts. Thank you," will work. The next step involves attaching supporting documents. The required documents include the Credit Bureau report, a picture of a government-issued ID, a picture of a social security card, and a utility bill that confirms the address. These documents verify identity and prevent delays caused by verification requests. For the company name, enter Experian, TransUnion, or Equifax, depending on which report is being submitted. The system will auto-suggest the correct option. Next, enter the last 4 digits of the social security number, date of birth, and the exact name as it appears on the credit report. If there are multiple collection accounts on the same report, all should be included under the same submission. However, only up to 5 accounts per report can be submitted at a time. If there are more than 5, another report must be filed separately. After reviewing the complaint, scroll to the bottom and submit it. A confirmation email with complaint details will be sent. This process should then be repeated for TransUnion and Equifax, following the same steps. If there is only a collection account with one bureau, only that bureau needs to be addressed. To ensure accuracy, reviewing the steps carefully or replaying any instructional videos may help. If you're working on disputing credit report errors or trying to remove collections from your record, staying on top of your credit is absolutely essential. That's where Credit Karma comes in. It's a free, easy-to-use tool that gives you 24/7 access to your credit score, reports, and monitoring, so you can track your progress and catch errors fast. Whether you're cleaning up your credit or just staying informed, Credit Karma is a must-have. Ready to take control of your financial future? Click the link in the description to sign up for free and start monitoring your credit today.